looking at you because you're upside. No, not upside, sideways actually. So can we start? What time is it now? 6 o'clock?
59. Yes,
59?
6.
1 more minute? Or shall we start now?
That's now.
Okay, let's start now. So good evening. We are in our week 4 of the 21st century discussion. And if I may, of course, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Binsu, Kevin, Sola, and Sumin. Thank you for coming before the time. It's good that we can start on time. So last week, we had a very interesting discussion about, what did we talk about? The 21st century issues, right? So we talk about the many problems that we have in the 21st century. Problem within our small community, within the society, and global issues as well. And as we have mentioned, it's important that we talk about real problems, right? Because real problems need a real solution. So that's why we said that instead of talking about some things that doesn't matter, let's talk about things that matter. And we ended up saying that leading the road that leads to 21st century is a bumpy road, right? That's where we ended. It's a bumpy road. And hi G1 Joe. And when I say bumpy road, that means to say we have to brace ourselves and expect a lot of challenges along the way. Life is not easy, right? Or I would say that, we keep on preparing ourselves for the 21st century workplace. And it's not easy, but the good thing is we have a view of what is there ahead of us so that we can prepare. Now, I think I left you a question and I asked you how you will prepare yourself for this bumpy road towards the 21st century. Do you have your answer? How will you prepare? How's the preparation?
To prepare.
Are you preparing from Jingwon? I can't hear your voice. How about you guys? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hear
I think G1, let's see, let's tell G1, it's only her problem. How do I send message to her? This one. Check your earphone or gadget. Right? Everybody can hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay, so it's only an issue on her end. So that means to say, probably it's the earphone, if she's using an earphone, that has a problem. Okay, Kevin, no, not Kevin. Minsu, you're saying something about your preparation. So how will you prepare?
To
You're still thinking how you will prepare for 21st century?
just a moment.
It's okay. Take your time to think. It's okay. Take your time to think. How about the others? Are you ready to share? How do you prepare for the bumpy road of the 21st century? Bumpy is, bumpy, let me explain, is a metaphor. A metaphor meaning to say we are actually using it to describe how things will be as we go to the 21st century. Can you hear me now, G1? Jin1? Still no. Kevin, you have an answer for us?
Draw the mind map of future.
Okay, you mind map. Can you make us understand that more? I don't understand what is mind map for you. So what is a mind map?
What will happen in future?
Okay,
About
yeah,
yeah.
we know what will happen in the future. Now, what is our action? What is our preparation? That's a question. Because we
mm,
already see, right? We foresee. So what is our action? How do we prepare for the future?
Discuss with other
Discuss with
or
others.
study more things.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How
And
about okay? And anything else?
mm, uh, experience many things.
Experience many things. Yes. How about the ladies? What can you say about your preparation? How do we prepare, ladies?
Getting a new hobby, for example, a drone can make our life quality
Okay,
up.
sure.
So
So finding a new hobby, yeah, that can help too. How about Sumin? You have an answer for us?
mm,
None yet?
yeah.
Later? Okay. Jinwon, can you hear me now? Jinwon, can you hear me now? Okay, so I guess the good thing is we are aware that we have to prepare for the 21st century. We are also aware of the bumpy road. And so, because we know what is there for us waiting and we know that we have to prepare, then the action is dependent on us. So, of course, if government has the role, what's this?
Sorry, to Jinwon.
Okay, what is she saying?
Uh,
Click the left
Okay, go
button.
ahead. Tell her, teach her what to do. Did she find it? You can give her instruction uh, in the chat so that she can, find it.
I think not yet.
Yeah, she can't hear us yet, so help her so that she can participate. She doesn't have an audio, right? So the audio is on the left side. There's a microphone there. Tell her that if the microphone is not moving, it means to say it's muted or silent. So if there is a vibration in the microphone, it means that it's working. And I don't know where is the audio. Where can you see the audio? Because I think when you use this, it goes with the audio and the mic. Okay, or probably there's something wrong with the earphone. So maybe what she can do is unplug the earphone and just use the natural uh, I would say speaker and natural microphone. Probably she can try that out because sometimes this becomes loose, and so if it's loose, we cannot hear anything. So please tell her she can do that. What is she saying? Oh, sure, go ahead. Okay. So going back, that's why I said we have to prepare. Like, for example, this one. It's not the road towards 21st century, but if we want to have a quality time during the online class, we can do something. And that something is really to prepare. Are you good, Jinwon? Are you
Mm,
okay now? Oh, yeah, it's connecting to her audio. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
No, it's okay. So you're okay now. You can hear us. We're sorry.
Yes.
We're sorry for you also that you did not hear us during the first few minutes. Okay. So going back, we're talking about the preparation for the bumpy road. As I said, it's very important that we know what is ahead of us so that we can plan, we can come up with strategies, and be ready for what we will encounter along the way. And one preparation towards that is to educate ourselves, right? So when we say
mm,
educating ourselves, meaning, let's see, I'd like to highlight that this is the most important thing for us to do. Uh, if we are asking, like, let's see, what is the problem for the 21st century? I would like to say that education is the key to the economic survival in the 21st century, right? So
mm,
uh, it's just one. I don't say that it's all. It's just one because people who know more, people who has more knowledge and skills can do more. Like it's like this. When you go to a battle, like in a war, you don't go to a war without any how do you call that, any weapon, right? You don't go to war without being physically fit. Like I know for a fact that when you serve the military that you have to have a physical exam, right? Why? You need to be physically fit to make sure that you can do your job well, mentally fit as well. Okay. And so education is actually a key for us to survive economically. Why is the economic survival very important? We talk about the issues of the rich and the poor. And again, we ask ourselves, where do we want to belong? Do we want to be the poor, who is a problem of the government? Or do we want to be in the rich side, wherein we don't give burden to the government and we can also help other people, right? Good thing if your family has a lot of money, you don't need to probably to work, right? Your father can just take care of your needs. But life is not like that. Not everybody is given an inheritance. Not everybody do have a lot of money to survive without working. And so for us to get the best job, a job that will fit us, education is the key to our survival. That's why you are in the university, right? You'll never, how much do you pay for your tuition fee? It's big, right? It's not just extra coming from your parents, it's something that they save for so that they can send you to the university. Why? Why are your parents saving money for your university? Why?
mm,
You know why? Why are your parents sending you to special school? Why are your parents sending you to exchange programs? Because they believe that the more experience you have, the better education you have, the more opportunity that you will have when you join the workplace, right? They invest in you, they invest their money on you. So education is an investment, the tuition fee is an investment from them. Therefore your investment is your education, how you can get the most out of your university stay, right? You go to the university not only for the GPA. You go to the university because you would like to be prepared. The real preparation, not just GPA. I always tell students, you know what? A high GPA is not the only thing needed when you apply for work. Aside from a high GPA, you need more, right? And we have to find out what is that more. So we will be, okay. So what's this? Hey, wait. So before we go to that, I think I have given you some extra slide regarding the industrial age value chain and the knowledge age value chain. Do you have a question about this before we move on to our topic?
No.
No questions about this one? This is very clear for you?
Yeah.
For you, Kevin. For you, Minsu. This is clear?
No,
Understood?
just no scared. Not scared.
Again, what do you mean?
It's not scared to down because no many information.
Okay. Actually, this is something extra. Extra in a sense that what I would like to highlight is this knowledge age value chain. The knowledge age value chain is a business model that tells us that nowadays, what is important is what you know. That's why we call it knowledge age. What is important for today is what you know, because what you know will give you an edge uh, against other people. Okay, so just to give you a continuation of that, I'd like again to show you in a bit and discuss with you what is this triangle. This triangle represents the knowledge age. It represents that nowadays, okay, or let's go back to the industrial time. During the early times, at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, people here do routine work, meaning to say, a lot of people are needed to make things possible, to assemble a product. That's why we say that it's routine work. So during the Industrial Revolution, there are a lot of people needed to do the job. But moving forward to the Industrial Revolution, where automation comes in, the routine work, look here, the routine work before done by people, the routine work during the automation is done by machines now. Like probably if you've been to Hyundai manufacturing plant, you will see that aside from the people working in there are also robots doing the work of people. So that's why we're saying that the machines or the automation or the technology uh, is replacing some people. But I always tell students, you don't have to be afraid because human mind is higher than artificial intelligence. And the challenge for you is you have to be smarter than the robot. You have to be smarter than the machine because if the machines are smarter than you don't have a place, right? That's why we are equipping ourselves to be better off than machines and than technology because we want to position ourselves here. Positioning ourselves here, meaning to say, this is the available work for many. But again, I don't say be here because it's your choice. If you want to do routine work and you don't want to use your mind to work, then stay here or stay here. But again, this is what is current now. This is the reality now of the knowledge age that we need people who are capable of thinking, people who know how to communicate well, how to work as a team, how to collaborate. So this is actually where you should be because your task is, look, you are expected to do research, to develop product, to design, to do I would say a current or updated marketing and sales activity and all of this. So you get the point. So this is before. Now in some parts of Korea, this is happening, especially here in Daegu. This is happening. But in some parts of Korea, this is already happening. So where do you want to be at this pyramid? Here, here, or here? This is the current. This is the what's this? The niche or the place that we have to fill in. But you have to bring with you more knowledge, more skills. That's the explanation of this 21st century pyramid for now. Okay, any question?
Then
Mm,
routine work is industrial age.
Yeah, this is industrial age. This is also industrial age, but this is advanced because
Okay.
here it's just the beginning. People haven't discovered yet technology, but this time, routine work still happens now. It's still happening now in some countries of the world. But nowadays, the current thing going on in marketplace or in the business world is this. Okay, so you understand,
Okay.
Jinwon?
Yes.
Shall we move to the next slide? Okay,
mhm,
so the future is learning and earning. Learning and earning means that's the future of the work and careers. Why do I say that? Because if you are learned, if you know more, the more money that you can get. There is a study that says that study revealed that people who are smarter, people who are more educated, can get 10% uh, 10% higher in salary compared to those who are less educated. So where would you like to be? Those who are earning more or those who are earning less? Again, it's your choice, right? I'm just opening up the door of opportunities for you. I'm laying food on the table. It's up to you to choose. Okay? So, moving forward, talking about education, in the workplace, there is a buzz going on, or there's a gossip, not gossip, but an intellectual gossip. Managers are asking, are students graduating from school really ready to do the work? That's their question. Okay?
mm,
And to make their question more specific, these are the things that they are looking for to the people, to the future employees that will be working with them. Are these graduates who will be joining the workplace have these applied skills? As we go through this, you can also ask yourself, do I have this already? Do I have oral and written communications? I mean, excellent. We have to qualify. It should be an excellent oral and written communication. And that's proven nowadays that when you apply for a job, they do look for your TOEIC score, right? They ask for your TOEIC score. So the higher the TOEIC score, the better opportunity for you to be hired. Okay? Not only Korean, not only English, but some Koreans would study Japanese, would study Mandarin, because an additional language knowledge or an additional language skill is always an advantage to somebody who's applying for the job. The next one is, can you read for me? What's the next one?
mm,
Who wants to read?
Second,
Yeah, second.
critical thinking and problem solving.
Okay, what is critical thinking?
Creative.
Creative? No. Critical thinking means your ability to decide, the ability
Mm,
to weigh the pros and cons of a decision, right? Because when you
mm,
decide, you just don't decide, okay, yes, no. The problem is not always answerable by yes and no. Sometimes the problem has to be broken down, okay? Issues needs to be broken down for you to figure out what is the best answer for this, right? So if you have that critical thinking skill, like for example, you weigh what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, and then looking at a situation and you've seen that, okay, there are more advantages than disadvantages. What will be my decision now? You can decide. Decision happens when you have options. You get that? If you do not have an option, like, that's it. You don't need to decide.
Mm.
But decision only comes when you have an option. Like, for example, I ask you, where would you like to be? Would you like to be working as a knowledge professional? Or would you like to be working using your muscles? That's a choice, right? And that
Yeah.
choice comes with a consequence. What is the consequence? If you want to be a knowledge professional, you have to invest a lot here. You have to have all of these applied skills. You follow? So problem solving is it's not only A, B, C, D or multiple choice, right? When you say problem solving, that's why I don't give students multiple choice. I don't give students fill in the blanks because that's not the way to teach students to think. If you really want to think, it has to be a problem, it has to be an issue of why and how, right? Because if you answer why and how, why gives you a reasoning. The how gives you the procedural thinking, like first, second, third. Like when you're driving and you are caught in between lanes. So what will you do? Will you just stop? Will you try to go to the right? Will you try to go to the left? That's decision making and that's solving problem. Okay. Now the third one is, what is the third? Sumin, can you read?
Professionalism and work ethic.
What is professionalism for you? How do we understand professionalism?
Mm,
One simple example. Professionalism can be tested if the boss doesn't need to tell you. You have to come at 8 o'clock because that's the starting time of our work, right? Professionalism means showing up without even hearing from the boss that you have to be in the office at 8. Professionalism means that nobody's looking at me, I can check my phone. That's not professionalism. Professionalism is behaving in such a way that you are a professional. Whether somebody or someone is looking at you, or you don't have a boss or nobody supervising you, you're doing the work. You have that discipline. You have that self discipline to do what you need to do. That's professionalism. And work ethic means, what is a work ethic? Work ethic, one example is spending your time wisely in the company. When I say spending time wisely in the company, you're paid from 8 to 5. And so, therefore, if you're paid from 8 to 5, then how are you supposed to spend the time? You have to spend the time wisely. You have to spend the time working for the company. Okay? This is not an issue of for Koreans. I admire you. I salute Koreans because you have a very good work ethics. You're very hardworking. That's one thing good about you, right? I admire Koreans work ethics. They're really good at this one. You don't need to supervise them. They know what they need to do. Okay. How about the fourth one? Jin one. Can you read?
Okay, teamwork and cooperation.
What's teamwork? What is
Group
teamwork?
project.
Group work, right? Group work. And what is expected when you do a group work? You're expected to produce an output, not just a so-so output, but the best output that you can deliver, right? Working in a team of all Koreans is not a problem because you can understand each other. But working in a team wherein there are diverse people, maybe one Pakistani, one Indian, one Sri Lankan, one Filipino, one American, one Spanish. That's very challenging. And some people, even like I say in the classroom, they do give up. Like I have students telling me, teacher, I can work with them. I cannot work with them because they're not Koreans. Can you put me in a group wherein I can only work with Koreans? Right? That's why I usually mix up the grouping. Why? Because this is a good way for you to practice how to be a team member. And collaboration, meaning to say, how do you do things together? How do you divide the work? You divide the work based on your talents, based on your skills. You just don't divide, this is a piece of paper, one for you, one for you, one for you, one for you. No. You first try to see what are the strengths of this team member. And then that strength, use it for something that will work, deliver a good result on the project. That's how you collaborate. You collaborate by, giving each one a piece of work that they can do the best. You follow? What is,
Yeah.
okay, working in diverse teams is, we talked about that already when we talk about teamwork, right? And the next is, can you read, Kevin?
Working in diverse teams.
Yeah, we're done with that. Next one,
Applying technology.
applying technology. I don't doubt you. You all know how to do this, right? But not only technology, but probably some software application, like maybe Photoshop or maybe what else? The one that is maybe Microsoft is easy for you, but there might be software specifically for a company. Like for example, for travel agency, it's Oracle or Amadeus, which they use for centralized reservation system. And the last one, Sola, can you read?
Leadership and project management.
Ask yourself, are you a good leader? Have you tried leading a group? And how do you manage the project? What do you do? Okay, what are your preparations prior to the doing of the project? If you've done this before, it's easy for the second, for the third time. But if you haven't done it yet, that's a big question mark. And so you have to experience this before you join the workplace, right? So ask yourself, do I have these skills? And if I do have them, what is my level? Or what is that level of skill that I have? Maybe you will say, I'm just a beginner when it comes to leadership and project management. What can I do? That's how we prepare. That's how we prepare to the bumpy road. These are the ingredients. These are the things that you have to bring with you. If soldiers need to bring with them guns, maybe, or whatever weapon they need, these are your weapons to the 21st century. So, what do you have now? And what do you have to invest on? Okay? Yeah, because when you subject yourself for an interview, during job interview, they will not ask you what's the definition of marketing. They will not ask you what's your understanding of business. They will ask you this. These are the questions. And based on your answers, they will gauge whether you can be part of their company or not. Okay? So moving forward, when we look at organizations, when we ask companies, they usually say there is a skills gap in the 21st century. What is, you see this? This is the gap. This is the academe or the university or the schooling that you're doing, and this is the company. So it means that whatever the university is producing cannot meet the demand. I'm sorry, cannot meet the demand of the companies, of the businesses. That's why the business organization has to add something to connect this academe produce and the business organization's need, right? So they're doing something. The companies are doing something. In fact, they're spending a lot of money. Do you recognize these currencies? yen, pound, euro, dollars. I don't know what's this. This is baht, maybe won. They are investing a lot of money to build the bridge, to connect, and to fill the gap between the academe and the businesses. And they really spend a lot. They invest in people. That's why when they send somebody to a training, like for 1 year, they ask them to sign for a bond because they are investing on people. And what is actually their belief is, if you will look at this, it says the competitiveness and wealth of corporations and countries. Okay, so an effect to the country are completely dependent on having a well-educated workforce. And who are this? This
Mm,
is you. This is you. So that's why I said a while ago, it's not enough that you have a high GPA. That GPA will never prove that you can do the project well. It's just a portion, but you need more. So I tell students, don't brag about that high GPA. Don't brag about that TOEIC. That's not enough. You need to learn more. If you want to be competitive, if you want to be the best applicant, you need more. Okay? And I always tell students, if you know more, you can earn more. Because learning is earning. Why are you investing in education? Because you believe that the more educated you are, the more books you have read, the bigger money you can get. Right? This is this
yes.
is this is the truth. I mean, compared how much money does an industrial worker make and how much does a knowledge professional make when he uses his brain? It's a big difference. So that's why I'm asking you, where do you want to be? Working with your muscles or working with your brain? Okay, and let's move. But the big question is, why is education falling short in preparing students for the 21st century? Can we blame the education? Can we blame the universities? Is it only their fault to fall short of what the industries needed? Is it only their fault? Who are the stakeholders here? Who are the
Mm,
stakeholders when we talk about the readiness of the knowledge professional? This is not about the Ministry of Education's problem. This is not about the professor's problem. This is not only about the parents' problem. Because sometimes, look here in Korea, reality. You are choosing the university, right? You're choosing the university. Why? Because you believe that that university's name will bring you to the chaebol. That's not very true. Maybe a little, it can do something, but the rest depends on the product of that university. People believe, like Koreans believe, if you graduated from Seoul, you're the best. I disagree.
what?
I disagree.
What?
Why do I disagree? Because it doesn't guarantee that you graduated from your Seoul. You're the best. You're better than somebody who's graduating from Daegu.
Mm,
I'll give you an example. You know Steve Jobs?
Yes.
yeah.
Did Steve Jobs went to the university? Did he finish his university
No.
before he sets up Apple?
Mm,
Look at Mark Zuckerberg. Did he finish university? I don't say you imitate these people. What I'm trying to point out is it's not the university that will guarantee your money, your success. It counts, but again, it lies on you.
mm,
Okay, because sometimes people, when they're depressed, when they think, oh, I did not get through to Seoul National University or to Korea University, I'm very pabo. No, that's not true. Your success does not only depend on the university where you graduated. Your success depends on the investment that you put on yourself. Remember that. I have students who really cannot find a job. Why? Because what's in their mind is, I did not graduate in Seoul, I cannot get a job. It's in the mindset. And I beg to disagree with that. Why? Because, of course, again, it's not the school alone. It depends on the investment that you put in yourself. So cheer up. There's a big door of opportunity or opportunities waiting for you. So it's not the fault of the Ministry of Education. It's not the fault of the university. It depends on you. Okay, remember that it depends on you. So why it's falling short? It's because also of the student. Look, here, okay, in the knowledge age, okay, what we have here is the routine manual or thinking skills, meaning to say, even though your eyes are closed, if you need to do something, you can finish it because it's all labor. But it's giving way towards higher levels of knowledge and applied skills. Meaning to say, instead of just routine manual thinking skills, you are expected to be the expert on thinking. You are expected to be able to handle complex communicating. When we say complex communicating, you don't only communicate people to people. But in technology or with technology, you communicate with the machines. You communicate with the configuration. You communicate with, I would say, a virtual environment. You communicate with diverse people. That's why we say that it's a complex communicating. Because before, we only talk to each other if we belong to one department. But nowadays, the communicating is bigger and it's more complex in the knowledge age. Okay? So, because I am emphasizing on the difference between a knowledge worker and an industrial worker, I'd like to give you this illustration. I always say there's a rising demand for a highly skilled worker. You see the pyramid that I showed you? In the pyramid, I said that's where you need to be, but only if you want to. Because the less educated, unskilled, okay, look at how the person looks like. This is just a picture, but he looks dirty, he looks very tired, against someone who is just sitting, using a white shirt, a white collar job, highly educated, highly skilled. There is a big income gap. If I'm going to ask you now, if you were to choose between this and this, what's your choice?
More
Here, right? This is your choice.
high skill.
Yeah, high skilled, highly educated. And if you choose that, it's not only a matter of choice. You need to work. You need to work your ass out, right? So that's why I said you have to invest on yourself. Okay? Because there is a rising demand for a highly skilled worker. The workplace is waiting for you. So with that, I would say that the world's education systems must now prepare students. We are doing the preparation. Me, as part of the academe, is doing my share. I'm teaching you to think. I'm not teaching you to memorize. I'm teaching you to think. I'm teaching you to prepare for your future. I'm telling you, your future is bumpy, okay? So professors are doing their share of preparing you. Universities are doing their share in preparing you. How? By offering you the subjects that you need, by giving you internship opportunities, by giving you cultural exposure. because they know that you need those things in order for you to be more competitive. In this knowledge age, there are two sets of essential skills needed. First is the ability to acquire and apply new knowledge. Ability to acquire, meaning to say, if you know that now, you can do it. And also the know-how. It's not only knowing, it's how to. Okay, remember, the knowing is important, but more important than the knowing is how to. Okay, the how to apply the essential skills, like how to do problem solving, how to communicate effectively and efficiently, how to do teamwork, how to use technology properly, and how to innovate. What will come after the knowledge age? Okay, so first I said we started with agrarian age, we moved to industrial age, now we are in the knowledge age. What will come after the knowledge age, the future, is the conceptual age. What is conceptual? From the word concept, to build, to create. That's next, because you cannot create if you don't have information. We call it also the knowledge age, the information age, because we have a lot of information. It's up to us how to use this information. Like the internet, I did not give you a textbook, right? What did I say? All the information, all the things that I'm telling you is not only coming from me. It's coming from the different books, coming from different authors, coming from my experiences. Okay? So all of this together that I'm giving you is a product not only of my thinking, but it's a product of researching for information that will be helpful for you to prepare for your 21st century. Okay, so now let's try to discover what is education purpose. You've seen this slide when you watch the video. So here on the screen, what you see are photos of classrooms around the world. This is in United States, this is in the Philippines, this is in India, and this is in Ulsan, one of the universities in Ulsan. What is common in all of this classroom? Can you tell
Use
me?
technology.
Yeah, they use technology. What else? Aside from using technology.
One teacher, many person.
One teacher, many person, yeah. Why are they in the classroom? Why are the students in the classroom? This is a classroom, right? What we're doing now, it's a classroom. It's a virtual classroom. Why are you in the classroom? Why are they in the classroom?
To study and investigation.
Yes, to study, to be educated. Okay? So wherever the classroom is, whether be it here in Korea or overseas, students go to the classroom to be educated. Because we say that learning is earning. Because we say that knowing more has a lot of advantages compared to knowing less. Now, who is delivering the education? The education is delivered by the Ministry of Education that governs the education system of a country. And from the education system, it goes to the different academic institutions. So from the government mandate, now you are in the university, so it goes to the university. If you belong to the middle school, then it's for the high school. But since we are in the university, the role of education is to make sure that they empower to contribute to work in society. Empower means we're giving you a table full of knowledge and information. Why? Because in a communist country, people are not empowered. When we say empowered, meaning to say you're given the freedom. Okay? It's the exact opposite of a communist country. A communist country, people don't have freedom. People cannot think. People only follow. Whatever the leader tells them, they follow. But because you are in a democratic country, so you are given the choice to learn, to be educated. You have the choice of your major, the choice of the university, the choice of your career. You're given the choice. And for you to embrace the choice that you have to be empowered. Meaning to say, you have to be given the information. For what? For you to succeed in work. Not only in work, for you to be a responsible member of the society. Because the country, okay, is expecting you to be a professional, to be a contributor to work, and to be a contributor in society. So remember this, guys. You are not preparing yourself only to become the best professional. You're also preparing yourself to be the best citizen of whatever country you will choose. Okay? Don't you feel good if your country is very proud of you? Like when you go to another country and they say, a South Korean tops the performance appraisal. That's good to hear, right? So that's why you are learning how to be the best. And also, education helps you to exercise and develop your talents. It's helping you to be the best version of yourself. Okay? To be the best of yourself. Look at you. Look back. When you're just starting schooling, when you're just starting to attend school, what do you know? And look at you now. You are in the university. What do you know?
Mm, mm.
Did you gain more?
Developer then.
Yeah. You're developed, right?
Festive.
Did you gain more knowledge? Did you gain knowledge? Did you learn more now compared to before? Now you decide for yourself. Let's look back. In your elementary, whatever your teachers say you do. Okay, class, math time. Okay, class, language time. You follow. But now, look at you in the university. No one tells you, go to your classroom. Go to this building. Right? It's your break time. You go to school. You go early so you can do the attendance. Nobody's telling you that. You do it because you are more responsible, because you learn how to be responsible, right? You're responsible for yourself now. And so, because you are responsible for yourself, you are responsible also for equipping yourself with personal talents. Are you doing this? If you do, good for you. If you do not, start now. Okay? Next, fulfill your civic responsibilities. What are civic? This is your community responsibility. This is your duty as a citizen. Like, what's this? Gentleman or man? What age is the start of the military service? 20? All, 19? All Korean male are required to do a military service or to render military service, right? That's a civic responsibility. Okay? But that's not only for guys. That's not only for male. Ladies or females do have also a civic responsibility. What is that responsibility? Find it out for yourself. Okay? And also, you are expected to carry your traditions and values forward. You're a Korean by blood. You're 100% Korean, right? So the next generation to come after you should know what are the practices of Korean. Like how's your family relationship? How do you celebrate traditions? What are your family gatherings? They have to know. What is that Korean identity that makes them different to the other citizens of the world? They have to know. Okay? That's why we say that do not throw your identity. The more you get educated, the more that you embrace your identity. And that you have to learn how to do properly. Okay? So these are the 4. Now, if we will look at this, who has expectations? The Ministry of Education of Korea has high expectations on you. Your parents who are paying for your tuition fee has high expectations. The company that you will be working with in the future has high expectations. I, as your professor, have high expectations. How about you? What is your expectation about yourself? Where are you?
High.
High also, right? It's not only an expectation on your part, but what do you do from here to fluctuate that expectation to high? What are you doing to yourself to meet that expectations?
Body.
Correct.
Study, TOEIC, it's up to you. You have to think. That's why I said you have to learn how to think for yourself. I'm not here to tell you, okay, study. My morning students said that they are very stressed when their parents tell them to study. Right? I think that's very common to Korean parents to always tell their children, study. And if you look back, probably during your elementary, your middle school, and your high school, you study from early morning to late night. Right? Why? Why? What are your parents telling you? Why they want you to study very hard?
Because high expectation.
Yeah, they have high expectations on you. Not only high expectations, they want to be proud of you. Right? No parents are ashamed of their children. Your parents would like to be proud of you. Your country would like to be proud of you. Me would like to be proud of you. I'm very happy when I hear my student succeeding in the workplace, getting promotion in the workplace. So all of us have high expectations on you. Don't fail us. Don't bring it here. Make this as your inspiration. Now, here, I would like to insert Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Have you encountered this before?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do we relate this Maslow's hierarchy of needs to education? You can never be here. Okay. This is basic. When I say basic, whether you are educated or not, you need this. Whether you're educated or not, you need this and this and this. But the self-actualization can only happen if you are properly educated, if you are knowledgeable, if you're skillful. Because of course, some people would say, have you heard of the bucket list?
Yeah.
Bucket list. Yeah. Why do people have bucket list? Because the bucket list represents their self-actualization. Like, if I can do this, I'm so happy for myself. I'm proud for myself. If I can get an A, I will be so proud of myself, right? That's their self-actualization. And this is a natural tendency for us to be here. No people is dreaming only to just live. People by nature dreams to reach this top. How about you? How about you? Ask yourself, up to where is your dream? Following this Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This has been studied that people really want to be here. Now, how do you move up? You can never be here unless you satisfy the basic. Like the basic one is the lowest level of the pyramid, followed by this, this, and that one. Okay? So, In the video, in the recorded video, you have seen like comparison of the education's role from the agrarian to the industrial and to the knowledge age. I will just show you the pictures before. So agrarian age, that's what they do. They farm. Okay, they farm, they take care of animals because these animals are used in farming. They don't have machines before, so what do they use? Their manual, their labor, they use their muscles, they use their strength to work on the farm. This is the agrarian age, and during that time, I'll show you the table for the goals of education. So they're moving forward. This is the industrial age wherein we said people from the countryside move to the towns for them to work in companies. And we call this the industrial age, okay? In the industrial age, later we will talk about what are the demands of education. And also during those times, there are a few people who are lucky to learn how to do works with machines. Before, maybe there's no computer yet, but what they use is a simple calculator. They use probably pen and paper to survive the needs of the businesses. And here, okay, that's why I said we will try to compare. Here, if you will see the goals of education, if we look at goal number 1, contribute to work in society. And if we are about to compare, okay, compare. So in the agrarian age, people are just expected to grow food. Why? Because that's their age. That's what is needed by the society during that time. And they're also expected to know how to create tools and crafts, basic need during that time, and to participate in local cottage economy. Local cottage economy means a simple business. Now, in the industrial age, this changed to answer to the needs of industrial age. Okay? So my point here of showing you this one, because I would like to move straight to knowledge age, is what is the education society's educational goal depends on the age. So here, people has to know how to farm. Here, people has to know how to operate the machine. Here, people has a different goal. And we will go straight to the knowledge age for you to see. I'm just doing it according to agrarian, industrial, and knowledge for you to see. Okay, so moving to here, contribute to work in society. We said this one before. So in the knowledge age, what is expectations from you? What is the goal of education for the people to contribute to global information? I'll give you an example now. Nowadays, everybody is trying to find ways to find a cure or to have a cure for coronavirus, right? So the research is not only being done in Korea, but it's happening around the world. They want to find a cure for the coronavirus. And what did Korea did recently? I like your Ministry of, I think she's the speaker for foreign correspondence. Forgot her name, but she's very smart. She shared to the whole world how did Korea address the problem, right? She was so impressive. She was interviewed by CNN or by BBC, and she was so impressive to share the world what Korea did to address this pandemic. So that's an example of contributing to global information. Other countries imitated what Korea did, but they cannot do what Korea has done. Okay, so aside from that, contribute to work in society, innovate new services to meet the needs and solve the problems. If we look around, what did the government do to come up with services? They have mobile testing centers for people if they suspect that they have the virus, right? And you see that the services, like they use the post office, they use pharmacies, they use selected places to distribute masks. Okay? So that is a very urgent response to what's going on around. So did it solve the problem? Did it solve the problem of having the mask? Because there is a scarcity of masks before, but because the government has done a coding, like if your if your birth date falls on a 1 or 2, the last year of your date, you pick up your mask at this day. So they were able to solve the problem, right? And in such a way that, look now, good news for people in Daegu, zero what? Zero person being infected. It's a good news. Okay, of course, it's not, we're trying to relate what's happening now because we're looking into the contribution of those who are educated to work in society. Okay, so look at the second one. Exercise and develop personal talents. What is expected of you? To develop yourself using technology, using productivity tools. So don't just use your smartphone for messages, for taking pictures, or maybe how else do you use your smartphone? Aside
Search
from
things.
calling, messaging, playing games, listening to music, make use of that. Try to find the other productivity applications, why it's called smart. Like I can use my phone in, as a dictionary. I can use my phone to collate the videos submitted to me by students. So develop your talents by making use of technology. That's what is being suggested here. And also take advantage of global opportunities. What kind of global opportunities available for you? The university is offering exchange programs, right? Where? All over the world, in all parts of the world, they have exchange program. Have you taken part of that? Are you dreaming of becoming an exchange student?
Yes.
Yeah, you can be. So because of course, the more exposed you are, whether you have the work exposure or internship or cultural exposure, that adds up to your self-investment. So don't just say, oh, that's for them, that's not for me. No, you can qualify. You can get it. It only depends on how you improve yourself to fit into that program. They qualify, right? There are certain requirements. Now, if you're thinking, I need to invest on that so that I can be a better student, that's an advantage for me, because when you apply for a job, they will ask you, where have you been? What have you done as a student? When asked, what have you done as a student, what activities have you done? Like you can say, I was sent in an exchange program, or you can say, I'm the president of this organization, or I did a volunteer work. Companies are interested to know, what have you done during your university years? But if you just say, study, that's it. Nothing to add to your credential. Another thing would be, it took me 5 years to finish my university because I'm working at the same time studying. That's very good also for you, right? So working, if you cannot find internship, working is also an advantage, because working means that you are responsible, because you are working and at the same time you are doing your part as a student. So take advantage of that. That's how you develop your talent. Developing your talent is not only reading, it's not only going to school, but working as well. Okay? So use knowledge, tools, and technology to continue learning and develop talents throughout life. Don't stop learning. Don't say, oh, it's semestral break, I can stop reading, I can stop learning. No. Never let a day pass without learning. Okay? And moving to the third, fulfilling your civic responsibilities, participate in your community, maybe as a volunteer, okay? Or if you know like nonprofit organizations who are working with young people, working with adults, helping them, participate. As I said, it's not only going to the university. Volunteer work do count as well. The more things that you can put in your resume, the better for you. Work experience, volunteer experience, exchange program, participation in university-wide activities. These are all good. And these are the things that HR managers are looking for because it shows you're active. It shows that you are multi-talented. Okay? So, community decision, political activities now. Take advantage also of the technology. The technology is there. I cannot go out. I cannot help people because I'm just stuck at home. That's not true. There's social media. Instead of spreading news like, oh, these are the number of people that died. Don't talk about the death. Talk about the good things happening in relation to this virus. Because if you talk about dead, and the number of dead increasing and increasing, it makes people stress, right? It gives stress. Maybe people will not die of virus, but they will die of anxiety. They will die of fear. So be responsible for other people. That's doing your civic responsibility. So not only in your local community, it can be within Korea, or it can be letting the other countries know about what's happening. Like my parents, my family is asking me, how are you there? Or do you still have something to eat? Because in some places, there's no food. Groceries are empty. Supermarkets are empty. I told them, you know what, in Korea, I have high praises for the government and for the people. They don't panic. There's no shortage. And people are behaving well. And so, that's an impression about Korea. Okay, so global issues, community issues, make use of your communication tools and social networking tools to contribute to what? The global causes or the global news. Spread good words about what you see around. But once it's not good, don't spend time. If it's something good to hear, spread it out. If it's something that's so good to hear and it will make people more stressed, then don't talk about it anymore. You're helping people by doing that, right? And the last, let's just finish this one. Carry traditions and values forward. I said, what I am trying to emphasize here is don't throw your identity. Instead, be proud that you are from this family. Be proud that you're a Korean. Be proud of your race. Be proud of your culture. Be proud of who you are. That's how you carry the traditions. Because, of course, the world is getting smaller. Smaller in a sense that there are no barriers. And so, because that's happening, we have a more diverse workplace, right? Like, for example, in the campus, we have people, students from different parts of the world, students, professors from different parts of the world. So, how do you show them that you're proud of your culture? How do you talk about the traditions that you have so that people can understand you? Right? You want people to understand you. You want people to understand that you are Korean and that this is your tradition, this is what you believe in. Let them understand because people will respect your tradition. If they don't mind them, but be proud of who you are. Because of course, what we would like to happen is actually a united world. A united world wherein there are global citizens who have traditions and values to pass on to the next generation. I always tell students, I'm proud I'm Filipino. I'm proud of what I'm doing. I'm proud of my heritage. Why? Because, of course, as I learn more and if I get to know more experience, that doesn't change me. But instead, it makes me a better version of my Filipino-ness, of my culture, and of my race. Okay? So that's about it when we talk about the education's goal. For next meeting, what I want you to do is, okay, we have how many goals of education? We have 4. Okay, in the 4 goals of education, what I want you to do, no video to watch, but instead, what I want you to do is what is your action towards each goal. Okay? What is your action? Like, for example, how will you carry the traditions and values forward? You give me a specific answer depending on what's your plan for yourself. Just one. One for contributing to work in society, one example, one for the second, one for the third, and one for the fourth. First, you have to do write a script, write it down, and then prepare a video. And we are going to look at that by next meeting. So no videos to watch. Just make use of that time to present your education goals. That's yours, okay? Make it yours. So your education goals. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You can have 4 slides, you can have 5 slides, but the minimum slides that you have to present is 4. Okay? If you have questions, please send me message, email me so I can explain and probably answer your questions. Okay? So I hope you learned something today. I hope that you keep on asking yourself, how can I be the best version of myself? Okay? So I thank you for your active participation. Minsu, Kevin, Subin, Sola, and Jinwon. I'm so happy to see you. And I'm happy that you are learning something from what we are talking about today. So don't forget the homework for next meeting. And also learn how to operate sharing. You're going to share your presentation. If you do it in advance, drop it in the folder, then just pull it out during our session for next meeting. Okay? So I thank you. Bye-bye. And for next meeting, we're going to talk about the converging forces of education. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a wonderful
Professor.
See you
weekend.
next time.
Yeah, see you next time.